Happy Wednesday. Here I am for my weekly video. It is ridiculously nice here in Wisconsin for late February. We almost hit 60 degrees today. I think we might later this week or next week. It's just been a weird winter, but at least sitting out here with you today, it's wonderful out here. I hope you're doing well. It's not the focus of my video this week, but I'm super excited that next week, March 1st, is the 1 year anniversary of Gemini Girl. I'm going to have some promotions. I'm going to do something on Facebook, on my Facebook page next week, starting Monday, which is going to amount to a giveaway. Stay tuned for that. But I was kind of thinking about topics for this week, and originally I was going to talk about what makes a good villain, but I think I'm just going to bundle it together super quick with what makes both good villains and good heroes. And I think, I'm not saying anything revolutionary here, but obviously nuance and layers to characters is what makes them the most interesting. I've been reading some awesome books over the last year, particularly from fellow authors that I've met on through my Facebook page. And I've brought up a number of times on my videos the Children of Copernicus web serial, and there's some characters on there that just make you want to make your blood boil. Like if you're familiar with them, there's the characters of Gwen, Natalie, where they just do, or Colm, who I complain about all the time. They do things that are just despicable at times, but yet they're not just one-dimensionally evil. They're not like blockheaded, lumbering villains that have no sides other than the evil side. That's true of anything we watch or read. That the characters that stick with you the most. And I'm thinking of that in terms of like both heroes and villains. It's like you neither want your hero to be so squeaky clean that they're unrelatable, or so like just virtuous and righteous with no flaws whatsoever, because none of us are like that. Similarly, like I said, with villains, you don't want them to just be so blockheaded, one-dimensional that it's like, ugh, I just can't stand them. The best villains are the ones that have that side that you can almost agree with, or you almost relate to, that they might be doing something completely wrong on the moral scale, but in their heads they're not, because they were wronged or they have a higher calling or whatever they think. um and that's how I approach my own books too. It's, I think probably the one character that was more one-dimensional than not was Terrence Tamoon, who ultimately was probably one of the top villains in the books. I mean, he's just an asshole from beginning to end. But Mark O'Deed, who kind of wavered back and forth on the line of decent and not decent, ultimately kind of ended below the line. Um, Lorelei Ogden, Darrow, they tend to be really positive people in some ways, but Darrow is very much more of the anti-hero. He comes around, but it tried to make layers for them. April Vasquez probably more a little bit solidly on the righteous line, but even she has her doubts and flaws that kind of like affect her relationship midway through the trilogy with Ogden, and kind of paralyze her at times. And similarly, as I'm working on the new stuff for Gamma Triada, there's characters that I'm working on that you're not going to know right away if they're good or bad. And you might let preconceived notions from the past series think you're going a certain way. But I'm really just trying to do characters that are nuanced and interesting, because I think, that's how we all are as people. And like I said, this is nothing profound, but I've been thinking about that a lot lately. It's like the villain. I think of things I've read over the years, like going way back, the I think it was the Heir to the Throne. I don't remember the name of the Heir to the Empire. There was a series in the '90s of Star Wars novels by Timothy Zahn where Grand Admiral Thrawn emerged as a villain, and they've actually brought him back now through the various series on Disney, and even before a little bit. One of the most interesting villains, because he wasn't like even Darth Vader like, where he's just a big, larger than life, kick ass dude, but he just is very cunning, very clever, absolutely certain what he's doing is logical and right. But ultimately, he's on the wrong side of things. I don't know. I just love characters like that because they'll stay with you. I mean, I just brought up an example from 25, 30 years ago. Um, those, yeah, those. I'm kind of rambling now, but I think you get the point. I think characters need dimensions and depth so that we can relate to them and they carry the story better. And I hope you find my characters to be that way. And if you're a writer, I hope you're pulling that off yourself. I've been reading a lot of awesome things where that's the case. So just my thoughts for the week. I hope you're doing awesome, and we will see you next week.